Welcome to Street Scene. Today we're in front of Summer Racing, and with me, my guest is Jerry Dixey, the tour director for Street Rodder magazine. Welcome, Jerry.
Hey, Rick, good to see you again. We've crossed paths over the last couple of years. Usually when Guy Shively is leaning over pinstriping something, and I'm going, isn't he cute?
That's Quaker Steak. At Quaker Steak and Loop in Austin.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you. We got a call from Jerry a couple of weeks ago wanting to know if we were going to be interested in doing this, and it's pretty cool. What are we doing?
Well, it's worked out well. I started on the road tour 25 years ago. This is my 25th anniversary.
Street Rodder magazine.
Street Rodder magazine, and the first year's car is the one to my left here. Is the blue one with the white stripes.
That's a what? That's a 30.
That's 33, 34, Model 40, 33 grill. And then we decided to do a tribute car to it. And the fellas, my good friends up at Precision Hot Rods in Macedonia near Cleveland, they built this Black Beauty here for
what
us.
a beauty she is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
A great car, and we did it as kind of a tribute. Low Car, Skip and Debbie Wall at Low Car own the blue car, and they now own this car. They were the title sponsor for this year's tour.
Jerry got a tough job, okay? What Jerry does, he drives these cars all around the country. In fact, how many miles did you put on this one?
25,000 miles
in
the
one
first year.
summer. 25,000 miles in one summer.
From May to October.
And where do you go? Just all the big shows?
What we did for the first 10 years of the road tour, from 96 to 2005, I attended every National Street Rod Association event in the United States driving a hot rod. And the reason we put the program together is we wanted to show people that it was okay to drive your car to an event, not throw it in a trailer. That was the days of you've heard the trailer queens. And that came from guys that were getting in our hobby that didn't necessarily build their cars completely themselves. So they were a little intimidated if they had bought it. So we wanted to show them if your car was built correctly and used good products, don't be afraid to drive it. The fun's getting there. So I did 10 years of NSRA events by myself. Marianne, my wonderful wife, would come with me occasionally. Shively would come with me every once in a while. A couple of friends would ride with me. But I was basically traveling alone. Then in 2005, after that season, the folks at Street Rodder decided that we wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. And in a meeting, I was told that I needed to write an article that would invite people to travel with me in their cars. And I thought, wow, that'll change everything. And it worked out fine. I was able to put week-long tours together. We would visit museums, private collections, and I gotta say, and I'm a homie, I'm Youngstown born and bred. I was born in Northside Hospital in 1951. But
you're old, Jerry. You're old.
I am an old
You're older than me, so that's good.
Wait a minute. Usually people say, you're kidding. You didn't do that, Rick. Anyway, we have, and I'm so proud of this, we have two of the finest car collections in the United States in our area. And one of them you're aware of, and that is Don Snyder.
Well, we've done Don a couple of times. What a beautiful collection that is.
And Dave Flynn has an amazing collection.
We've never been to Flynn's.
I know. And Dave has an amazing collection.
We try to get into some of these, but they don't want us. They don't want to put it out there.
Yeah, some people are a little more private, and I respect that.
Sure.
But I've been so blessed to be able to see so many amazing collections out there, and it's been a great run. From 2006 to last year, we traveled about 15,000 miles a year, and we did 8 week-long tours where people would travel with me in their own cars. I would arrange private collections, museums, manufacturers. We would have dinners together.
They would take the whole tour with you, or just certain spots?
A week. They would go for a week. You'd sign up, and everything was fine. We were looking forward to celebrating our 25th anniversary, and then December 6th of last year, it was decided that they were going to stop printing 19 of our titles of our 22.
So who owns them now?
Here's the backstory. 3 years ago, the Discovery Channel came in as a partner to the Motor Trend Group with the idea that they would take over complete control in 3 years. The Discovery Channel wanted them because of their YouTube presence with Motor Trend, Motor Trend TV,
which is very big. It's my favorite channel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Right. And Discovery had their it used to be called Speed, and then it was called, they had a lot of different
Velocity.
names. Velocity. Well, they changed the name to Motor Trend.
Right.
And they are more cable oriented, and they're direct to consumer, not print. So they made the decision in December of last year that they were going to stop publishing 19 of our titles, which lost some iconic titles. Just a shame. Of course, Street Rodder for us.
Right.
Street Rodder. Rod and Custom had already been gone. Street Rodder. Classic Trucks. Super Chevy, just to name a few. And it was a heartbreaker. But they said, we're going to continue the road tour in Hot Rod magazine because they kept Hot Rod. So we're going to continue the tour in Hot Rod. Okay, we got through the lack of publishing. Then the pandemic hit.
Oh, geez, that killed everybody.
Somebody up there didn't want me to have a 25th and final season. So that's basically what happened.
Did they kick you to the road, or are you retiring? You're just retiring?
I was retiring anyway.
Okay.
From the road tour. This was going to be the final year of the road tour anyway. But no, we came to an agreement. I'm an independent contractor. I don't work for Street Rodder. My company that Marianne and I own, Classic Automobilia, we are contracted to Street Rodder to do the road tour.
Okay.
So we worked out an amicable agreement between all of us. And it's an interesting story. If you got a minute, I'll tell you about the history of...
I'm retired. I got all the time in the world.
I am too. Let's go.
And I'm doing what I love to do most, sitting in front of the camera talking to car guys.
I got an idea. We'll get a 60 Corvette.
Okay.
I will only travel on Route 66. I'll be Buzz, you be Todd.
Okay.
And let's go for it. We got to clear it by what's your guy's name? Greg. We got to clear it with Greg.
Greg. Sometimes he's a real.
If he can film from the luggage carrier on the back of the Corvette, he'll be happy.
What color was that car? Red? Is that the red one?
I thought it was white. I don't know. We're gonna have to get the viewers out there to say what color was the.
That was black and white back then, anyway.
Oh, good point. It was black or white, Rick.
I always vision it in my mind red. So
the way I got started with the road tour was in 1989. We were running Ohio Van and Truck Supply on Mahoning Avenue. I love cars, obviously. I had a lot of collectibles and automobilia, and it was the era when guys were doing their man caves. I hate that term.
Why?
It's their garages filled with cool stuff. It's no cave, and we're not like cavemen. What's that all about? But they were doing the basements, the garages, the kitchens, all that. And so I had a lot of people that came into my shop that I had decorated a little bit with my stuff, and they go, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?" I thought, you know what? There's a market for this.
Sure.
So we started Classic Automobilia in 1989. And in 89, 90, 91, and 92, we published a 24-page full-color catalog, shipped items all over the world. We had a lot of Scandinavian customers that they love that American, 50s look.
Sure.
So we started that, and I started to do articles for Street Rodder about my collectibles. They had me do a pedal car article. I did 6 of them.
Which is pretty cool.
About pedal cars, gas pumps, road maps, all those things. And then I became friends with the folks at Street Rodder. They liked the way I wrote. I had kind of a Cracker Barrel kind of a, hey, we're going to do this week or that week. And so they liked the way I communicated and I wrote. They saw that I could put some words together. They didn't know that Marianne has a master's degree in English literature, true story, and library science. And she was proofreading everything I wrote.
Good.
Everything.
You need something like that.
That was before spell check. She was first spell check. So they liked the way I wrote. And so I came up with the idea of the road tour and I pitched it to them, and they said, yeah, that's great. And I said, well, we'll sell the car at the end of the first year, and that way I can get compensated for a little bit of my time and my expense. They go, no, we need to give the car away. And I go, hold up. What do you mean you need to give the car away?
We're talking this blue one.
The blue one.
Okay.
And I go, but that kind of leaves me out of the mix here. I'm going to be spending a lot. They go, oh, we'll pay you. And I said, you'll pay me to drive a hot rod around the United States?
What an ideal job, huh? I thought I had a good job.
So that's basically how it came about, and we came up with a an agreeable amount to compensate me, and so it worked out. It worked out well, and the rest is history.
So every year you had a different car.
Every year they would.
Is there one car that stands out as your favorite?
Yeah. Now I want to repeat what you just asked me.
Okay.
You didn't ask me the best car.
Right. Your favorite.
You asked me my favorite.
Right. Everybody has their favorite.
Without a doubt, it was what was the McMullen Roadster clone. That is a 32 Ford black highboy Roadster, no top, blown small block Chevy.
And you drove that around the country.
25,000 miles.
Top.
I was as red as that stripe right there, and I would do 800-mile days.
Oh my
And
God.
I was a stud. It was exciting. It was an amazing year.
Let me ask your wife. Was he a stud?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
There you go. No, it was. Well, we asked I drove that summer. I drove home from Spokane, Washington. I left Spokane, Washington on Monday morning. I pulled in my driveway in Austintown on Wednesday afternoon. Straight out of the movies, Marianne's sitting on the porch swing. She runs off the porch. She comes up to me. I go, "Give me a hug," and she goes, "You need to take a shower."
Yeah, really.
So it was to the showers for me. Then she gave me a hug. But
So what happened to all the cars?
the first 10 years, we gave them away.
You gave all 10 of them.
All
These
10
aren't
of them.
cheap. These aren't cheap.
No, these are $200,000
yeah,
cars.
this one they was talking.
We
to
gave the
yeah.
first 10 years cars away in a sweepstakes. People could sign up, where I was at, and where you could send it in and enter it. And then with some new corporation came in and took over, they said, "Wait a minute, you're giving away cars to readers? That looks like a huge insurance liability." And they stopped it. They just
You
said,
get the lawyers involved.
We can't, they
because
said,
if something would
they
have
said
happened,
we can't take that chance again. So and that was the end of that. And a few of them have filtered into collections of people that we know. Corky Coker owns two of them. We gave a couple to some companies that would raffle them off for charity. But we were 2 steps away from the liability. I'm not a legal guy necessarily, but apparently by us giving it to them and them giving it away, we were plausible deniability.
So Precision has done all of them, right? No, they didn't do all of them?
Precision did this one.
Okay.
And then Danny Tizar from Precision, one of the partners, Larry's partner, was on the team at Lobex that built this.
Oh, okay.
But we've had a ton of different companies. Woody's Hot Rods in Cincinnati built a couple of Tri-5 Chevys for us. Troy Ladd from Hollywood Hot Rods out in California built cars. We've had some great builders and some great sponsors. That's what it takes, is a sponsor that, as I was saying.
And these are all sponsored. Everything's sponsored on them, right?
Yeah.
So when you're talking, this is for, I'm not too familiar with the sponsors and everything. When you're talking to sponsors, say you get somebody sponsoring the brakes and all that, do they give you money and the product for free?
In the beginning, they were just giving us the product.
Okay.
And then it became a problem because they were all fighting about who would give Jerry the gauges. Pick my company. Pick my company.
And then that's when the money started coming in.
So then the people at the magazine, the bean counters, and God bless them, they helped pay my bill.
Sure.
But they decided that they were going to put an ad campaign together so that you would supply your product and buy into a 5-figure ad campaign. Okay, and that filtered out the use my stuff because they realized that if they only had to give a set of wheels or a set of gauges or something, pretty cheap for all the publicity they were getting.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And there are companies. Locar has been a loyal sponsor with us from the very beginning, and again they own that one and that one. Vintage Air has been a loyal sponsor with us, but
both these got air.
Oh yeah,
one of
they all have. They've always had. They've always had air. Even the Roadster had air. A lot of air, but it was air coming.
A lot of rain and not.
There was times I wished it had a heater.
I couldn't imagine that, Joe. Just driving around in that, and my God, I'm sure you ran into something. Heck, with downpours and everything.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing would be, as I was driving in a Roadster in a pouring rainstorm, somebody on their way to work with their suit and tie and their Jeep Cherokee would go, dude, couldn't you pick a better day to go to the A&W? And I'd think, I ain't going to the A&W. I'm in my office.
It's probably no difference than motorcycle.
No, it's
driving,
and I would
like,
wear
when I'm on my
motorcycle
bike,
gear. I would wear a suit up, zip up and the whole thing. And
I rode my Harley down the Mississippi when I was younger, and I hit a hurricane on the way back, and I was like a mess.
well,
Yeah.
The only problem that I would have, or the reality of my work, is I can't call in and go, hey, would you postpone the event for 3 days because I need to hole up somewhere.
And then
no,
when you
had to
got
get there,
you had to clean it.
clean it. I don't. It used to be we'd have it inside, and the joke was that I would only clean one side of the car because they could only see one side. But then we started doing them outside in tents. You know what I'd like to do is I would like to get you to come to my classic showroom.
Okay.
I have a showroom that's part of Ohio Van and Truck. I sold the company Ohio Van to
Okay, that was your
Tina.
company. I
owned Ohio Van. Marianne and I owned it for 35 years. I still have the building. But we're down in Mahoning, and now that I have time again, I've kind of worked up and cleaned up and straightened up the showroom. It's a diner theme. We won't eat unless Greg brings sandwiches.
Well, he's too cheap. He's too cheap.
But it looks like a diner. It's got booths. It's got a soda fountain thing. But I've got a lot of collectibles. I'd love to show you that.
Sure, we'd love to do that.
And do a walk.
We love
do
it.
a walkthrough. The other thing that I've got going, because I can't, as you can see, I can't even sit still in this chair. The other thing that I've got going is I've started a separate company from Classic called the Hot Rod Paper Company. And with all the print that's gone away, I have almost 8,000 magazines that I own. I've been selling them one at a time on eBay and sold 250 magazines in the last 2 months on eBay for people. Hey, a 34 Ford's a 34 Ford 10 years ago, and it will be forever. So if you got a magazine article about it, that's pertinent. So we started doing that. So that's another thing to keep you busy.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's very good. I like it. When you want us down? So we'll go right now.
Give me 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. We gotta work on Greg's schedule there.
We'll coordinate that. But I think you'll enjoy it. I'll tell you more of my stories from the road.
Sure, I'd love to hear those.
I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to call it "Driving Them Crazy."
That sounds good. You probably got a ton of stories.
I got a ton of
stories.
Yeah.
Jerry, thank you very much for your time and sitting in front of the camera with us.
Well, I'm glad that you could come out and see my first and unfortunately should have been my last. But that's that. Well, good seeing you, Rick, always.
Jerry.
And I'm looking forward to our visit at Classic Automobilia.
Jerry Dixey, tour director for Street Rodder Magazine. I'm Rick Guerrera. For Street Scene, I'll see you down the road.